Good day, air conditioner twerps. Sorry, blue balls, not starting it up. If you know how to read, you'd know that we're taking a look at the capacitors because the fan doesn't like that kind. I don't think it's the motor. Pretty sure it's a capacitor and it's bad. I do remember that taking this front panel off was a royal pain. And I don't know what I'm even getting myself into at this point. I know that this opens. And is supposed to not break off, but does anyway or something. There. So that's good. I guess I'll just sort of put it over here. The filter, okay, it has a blade of grass, 2 blades of grass on it. The filter is otherwise, besides just some other little leaves and that, perfectly clean. Absolutely nothing to speak of. It's not even rinsing it with the hose. There's a moth or something. Foil is perfectly clean. All that's all good. And I don't remember how it comes off. I think it just sort of does, but I really don't remember. And I don't want to pry on this side, but we're going to have to. So I came prepared for that. Got a couple tools. I want to see if the putty knife will work. Nope. 'Cause I kind of don't want to break this. That much I know. It doesn't come up that way. See, this is what I was saying. It was kind of like a royal pain to get this on. And I don't remember how we did it back in the day. Oh, yeah, that's something. Okay. So it kind of lifted up and that worked, but I don't think it's going to work here. No, of course not. It's probably just broken clips and that. Allowed it to come off. Come on, get in there. It's kind of not getting in there. It doesn't want to pop. I'm not liking that. Maybe if I do that, I can get it to come off. Come on! There we go. Good. Decent. Decent. Okay. So, you might be saying, well great, what did that do? That did absolutely nothing. You're absolutely right. I'm not pulling the unit. There is a little other detritus down here. Nothing really to speak of, just some little pieces of leaves and that. There are some cobwebs over here. That's kind of interesting. My plan, 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 or 5, is to go and pull that box in the hopes that the capacitors are in there. There is nothing else to see here because I don't remember seeing them in the machine. So I don't know. I think we're kind of getting there. I need to get a Phillips screwdriver and undo those, and we'll see if that will bring us anything else. It's time to take the screws out. This is the shitty garage screwdriver, Phillips. Came with the house. It's just been around forever. I have another one in case it doesn't want to fit. But we'll take out the 2 top screws. I'm sure those need to come out. want to, that's fine. Problem is I can't see on top. We'll take these 3 and start with that. Alright. Put those down so I step on them. Something holding it. The whole motor is that? Why? Alright, let's take out these others. Oh yeah. I don't know what these do, or if they're important. The interesting thing about this is I have the model number of this machine, and I did look it up, and it pointed out 2 capacitors. It pointed out your typical compressor fan capacitor, and it pointed out another capacitor, which was just this little black square. The idea is to get both, but I don't know where the little black square one is. I think at one point I had this box out. I don't even care if I break this part. Does the whole thing just come out? As an assembly? That comes out. I'll never get that back right. Alright, good. Well, I can put new duct tape on that so it don't rattle. Probably won't. But, yeah, that's not helping much. That's great. Problem is, I'm just not quite tall enough to see what the hell is going on here. I'd like to know what that is too. I think I see a transformer. It's like, do I have to twist those tabs out? I don't know. This couldn't just pull out. Yeah, I guess it could, but... kind of is. I don't know. I'm going to have to... because if I can't, if I can't get to them, it doesn't matter if I can get the parts, because if I can't put them in, then... I think it's inside that box, is my guess, because to pull the entire unit, and then why would they put all the electronica in the back of the unit where it's exposed to the, well, it is GE. I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to have to play with this and see how and why it doesn't want to go. So I'll come back sometime later if I get this open. We'll go from there. I've been messing with this for about 5 minutes now. There are, they're still there, 2 clips on top, but even with that, it doesn't pull out any further. There's no other screws on top unless they're under. There's a piece of like insulation there. I have a cooler here I can kind of stand on. Okay, there's a label. It says caution, take off sealing, SEALING, and remove earth screw before disassembling control panel, and there's an arrow pointing to the right. Oh, look at that! A magic screw. A magic screw. I found one screw here, and I took that out already. But I want to see... I don't feel any others. Alright, we'll try that one. See, I got a screwdriver here. There we go. That does appear to be where it was getting held up. Oh yeah, there's a whole screw and a little strap. Hey! There we go. There it is. Alright, let me get down a second here. There we go. Well, that's a mess. It still didn't buy me much, and there's like 7,000 connectors in here. Try unplugging some of them. I think I'll just take a picture of that just in case. So I know where they go in that order. They're kind of color-coded and keyed, so that's not really a big deal. Let me get back up here if I can. Yep. I can't, this little dinky thing is what was holding this back. There are two big connectors at the bottom of this thing. A relay, maybe. There's a red connector here. That's power for it, I believe. This is such a tight spot. This is awful. And these wires, I don't know how you get them back on. I'm not worried about getting them off. I'm worried about getting them back on. But I think this whole box has got to be able to come out. I don't want to break the styrofoam up there. But it's stuck at this handle. It won't move anymore. I don't know why. Can a guy just turn that maybe? Yeah. Well, oh, maybe that's it. Okay. So let me get a picture of that. I think that'll do it. So I haven't figured out how to get this apart yet, but I believe what we have, not sure, but I believe what we have is a big metal box, like a can, which is the big capacitor, and then there's a black thing up here. Let me put the picture up on screen. Here's what the camera saw inside. Just like I said, at the bottom, in the back, is a round capacitor. I can't see any of it,
but I know it's there. And then there's a little black square or rectangle at the top on the left, and that has two connectors on it. When I originally looked up the parts for this unit, it listed two capacitors. So hopefully that black rectangle is the other capacitor, but we're going to find that out later in this video. This was a mess just to get open and get access to, and I've only gotten the box just open a tiny bit so we can just see what's in there with the camera. I haven't even torn into the box. The replacement of the pool capacitors was child's play compared to this. This is a lot more difficult, and there's a lot of head scratching that was going on and is still going on as I edit this video.
So I'm gonna kind of go with that. Now, again, I'm kind of stuck here because it doesn't want to go anymore. It doesn't want to pull out anymore. I see. Well, I got that. Okay. There is one more screw. Pulling it now. I mean, I can leave this thing taken apart. Oh, good. My Phillips screwdriver's on the floor. So use my spare. Maybe that's the ticket. You just pull it out just enough. Well, oh, it all kind of comes apart. SH capacitor protected. Oh yeah. Now we got something going for us. Oh, I can actually see it now. Wow. This will be a royal pain to replace. I don't know how this is all done, but just bend it out. So I don't know if you can see that. We'll get a picture of that. Look this way. Back there, maybe if I rotate the picture after. I don't know if that'll give me anything. Let's see if I can snap another shot of that a little closer in. Because even though the big one in there appears to be okay, probably should replace it. This thing's 20 some odd easy. But I think that is the bad capacitor. Let me see. The fan motor spins absolutely free. Kind of really hokey to try to power this without that. This is 6 microfarads. The old pool pump capacitor was 10? Is that right? I can't remember. And I know that cap really isn't good. I'm kind of a little baffled here. There is a screw under this. I hope you can see any of this. There is a screw under this that dismounts that. So that much I know. And there are 2 screws in the back there. This is going to be an absolute joy to service. I can tell you that right now. An absolute joy to service. Because I don't know how you even get to that. Just load the other capacitor in there, but I can't see where the wires go, so it's got to come out. I'm not happy with this construction at all. I'm just thinking for a minute. I kind of want to like try the pool pump run capacitor because the ratings are pretty much there, at least just for a test. And if I burn it up, I'm just going to burn the cap up. But I do have to plug everything back in and hope nothing shorts. So let me go look at that, and I'll see if I can swap it in quick just to see what happens. Just that black one. This is the mess I was looking at. I went and I looked at the pool pump capacitor. That was 20. I couldn't remember. So 6, 20, too much of a spread. 10, you can get away with. But I wouldn't want to put a 20 in, even though the capacitance is probably a lot lower because it's all, you know, like that. So yeah, I guess what I'm going to have to do is go by the part numbers that I found online, and at least now I know where the capacitors are. How in the hell I'm going to replace them? I could do the black one, but the other one is, there's a big white connector up there just to the right of that. See back there? I could unplug that, but what does that do for me? Will it let me take the whole box out? I don't think so. I don't think so. Maybe. It looks like there's some kind of thick wires in there, but I mean, you gotta like bend the box out of shape to get to this stuff? Really? Really? That's a bit much. That's a bit much there. And there's no other screws. That's how it comes apart. So I guess what I'll do is I'll go online and look up those numbers and see if I can match that to the pictures that I took.
Well, I looked up the part numbers on Sears Parts Direct or Appliance Parts 365, Appliance Parts Pros. It's all the same stuff. And I look up the part numbers, and of course, these items are not available anymore. I had to become an expert, and really, really quick. How did I do that? I don't know. It's just one of those knacks that I have, just figuring stuff out. So looking at this capacitor, I have the value that's there. It's a 450 volt capacitor, 6 microfarad. The only other thing I know about it is it's rectangular. Unfortunately, when you type that in, you don't get much. You get ceiling fan capacitors, interestingly enough, and in looking at more and more and more listings of them, you find that, yeah, these are it. That's definitely the deal right there. On the back of this that you see, this is what I believe to be the fan capacitor, is a little mounting tab, a little tab that sticks out with a hole in it. A screw goes through that, and that's what just holds it to the metal piece that's there, and that's it. 2 wires, you hook them up, and you're done. That is the idea. So I looked around and looked around and looked around, and I did find capacitors just like this that have the terminals on there, but hey, I don't know if I'm buying the right stuff because I'm not an expert. I'm just making believe I am, which is close enough. it'll probably work. These capacitors that I found have wires coming out because they're really meant for ceiling fans. And they have the same mounting tab and all that. Take a look. Here's what I found on Amazon. The Twidec 2 pieces, 450 volt AC, 50-60 hertz run capacitor, 2-wire, metallized polypropylene film capacitors for ceiling fan motor, start run, 6 microfarad, CBB 61-6. I don't know what CBB 61-6. I guess the -6 is 6 microfarads. You will notice that these capacitors do not have terminals on the ends. So we're going to maybe do things the right way, maybe not. I don't know yet. What I'm going to do is alligator clip it in to find out if that'll fix it. And then if it does, I'll make a more permanent repair. I might have actual push-on terminal things that will interconnect it. I don't know that for sure. I'd have to go dig through and see. If I don't have them, I can cut the connectors off of there and just wire nut it in, and it'll be just fine. Now, I found ones out there that had the terminals I needed, but they're like almost double the price for one of them. So, didn't make sense. It's all coming from the same factory in China anyways, so why not get a 2-pack of the same crappy capacitors that are only going to last for 2 years, rather than just get one crappy capacitor for more money? It doesn't make any sense. So I'll get these, and we'll see. I really don't know. I'm guessing here, but I'm thinking it probably will work just fine. Seems to be a very common capacitor once again, just like I found for the pool pumps. It's pretty easy stuff, really. Let's go on to the other capacitor now. This one I was a bit incorrect on. I had thought that this was a capacitor and fan kind of dual capacitor, which would have 3 terminal sets on it. But I can't quite tell. Based on the readings on there, the value, it says it's 40 microfarad, 450 volt AC, plain easy stuff, nothing special. I looked with an endoscope. I think there's only 2 terminals. So I said, well, I just bought some for the pool pump, got Bojack, so let's see if Amazon has any of those. And of course, there it is. Bojack, 40 microfarad, 450 volt AC, 50-60 hertz, the whole 9. It's the exact same thing. I don't think that this capacitor necessarily needs a replacement, and considering the fact that this thing has been basically impossible to service so far, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to buy this and have it on hand in the event it eventually needs to be changed. We're going to find this out when I actually go to install them. I'm going to go with that black rectangular one there, and we'll replace that, and hopefully that'll do it. The compressor never really had any problems starting, so it probably is okay, but it would be nice to have this on hand, so I'll just buy it anyway. And like I said, we'll try the other one first, and hopefully that does the trick, because I don't know how to get this round one out. It's just in there real good. I had taken a look at it with an endoscope, and I think there are only 2 terminal sets on there, just like you see on this one. But it's hard to tell. The garage is all packed with all the stuff now, so it's hard to get in there. As far as I know, this should be correct. It'll probably end up being a spare, but it'll be there. And we'll try the other one and find out what is going to happen. I honestly don't know. I think it's going to fix it, and I'll be happy just replacing that black one and see if I could possibly slam this thing back together and make it work once again. This thing is pushing 20 some odd years old now, and there's been a lot of stuff I had to replace on it. It's come out of the wall a couple more times than it really should have, but hey, it still works otherwise, and did last year as far as the refrigeration system is concerned. Gets ice cold in there, so why bother with something new that's going to suck anyway? Let's give this one a shot, and let's finish up with what I recorded this same very day.
So I think, quite honestly, I should really just kind of leave it like this. I might go so far as to plug those connectors back in. Probably not. I mean, they're kind of, it's kind of easy to figure out where they go. But I did get it open and figure out that much, and figure out what that weird black capacitor was. That was really the main question that I had, rather than the big one, because that I think is good, but you know, like I said, probably would be a good idea to replace it. So that is going to wrap this up. I can't think of anything else. There's no point in trying it now. I don't want to charge the caps up, and I'll still have the old ones in the event anything happens. So I think that's really going to do it. One thing I have here is a brush, and no way to get around the tripod. Yes, I can. There we go. This thing is vintage. I don't know what vintage it is, but it was in Ginger's trunk when I bought it, so it's free. It's a nice brush. It's definitely vintage, so that's all I know. There's nothing here to speak of. There's no dirt or anything. So, you know, that's kind of it. As far as in here, the styrofoam, that's not really impeding anything. There's a little crap coming off, but nothing to speak of. So that's it. We're just going to leave it here until next time when I get those capacitors, and can't really show you installing. I could show you the black one, but the other one is, yeah, I don't know how I'm going to do that yet. I'll have to try taking that big connector off, I guess. So we're probably just going to put them caps in and say, look, I got the new ones in, and now we'll try it with it open, and I guess that'll be it. But I tore the entire garage apart just to get to this, because I had to mow anyway, so that's going to do it for now. I'm kind of rambling, and I don't know what else to say or do. I don't know. This is not going to be good. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for now. Thank you kindly for watching. Make sure you click like. Make sure you click subscribe. I appreciate your watching and listening to me ramble on and wonder what in the hell I'm ever going to do. But that's it. Take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Always a car every time I've been closing out these videos.